Week 14 of the fantasy basketball season, and here's a few guards I looked at off the wire this week. The first guard, Alec Burks, of the Detroit Pistons. Alec Burks, we know he's been in a lot of trade rumors over the last few weeks with the NBA trade deadline approaching in the next couple weeks here. But Burks, he's been solid for the Pistons this year. 12.7 points a game, 2.3 rebounds, 1.5 assists, 2.3 threes a game, and 39% from the field. But the last couple weeks, he's been on a tear, 21.5 points a game, 2.5 rebounds, 2.2 assists, 4.2 threes, and 47% from the field. So Alec Burks, we always knew he was a good three-point shooter, decent passer of the basketball. But the last 2 out of 3 games here, he's definitely gone out there and put up some huge numbers. January 15th at the Wizards, 34 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 8 threes, 64% from the field. January 17th versus the Timberwolves, 12 points, a rebound, an assist, 2 steals, a 3, 30% from the field. And January 20th versus the Bucks, 33 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, a steal, 7 threes, 45% from the field. So he's going out there, he's hitting 3 balls, he's rebounding the basketball well, and like I said, he's a good passer of the basketball. So right now, this Piston team, they must be happy that Burks is playing good basketball, and his trade value might go up because he's a veteran and a player I don't see this Piston team keeping past the deadline, but being one of the worst teams in the league. So right now, well, he's playing great and available, surprisingly, still in 70% of fantasy leagues. He's definitely a good ad this week. The next ad's Brandon Miller of the Charlotte Hornets. So Brandon Miller, it's been an up and down rookie season for him. Right now, available in 50% of fantasy leagues. And on the year, 14.5 points a game, 4 rebounds, 2.2 assists, 2.1 threes, and 42% from the field. So we know LaMelo Ball, he's been back in the lineup last week here for this Charlotte Hornet team, even though he did miss their last game. But Brandon Miller, he missed a couple games as well in the last 2 games since he returned. January 19th versus the Spurs, 24 points, 9 boards, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 threes, 57% from the field. January 20th versus Philly, 23 points, 7 boards, 3 assists, a block, 2 threes, 47%. So right now, Brandon Miller scoring the basketball at a good clip. He's always been a good rebounder as well, going back to his college basketball days. And I think he can help fantasy owners, and this is another team, the Hornets, where they're going to be trading some veterans most likely at the deadline, like a Terry Rozier. So if Rozier gets traded, it's going to open up even more shot attempts, I think, because the playing time is there for Miller already, anywhere from 30, 35 minutes a game. So this week, he's definitely a nice ad. The next ad, Norman Powell, Los Angeles Clippers. So Powell, he's been an ad over the last few weeks, but still available, surprisingly, is Powell in 58% of fantasy leagues on the season. If you need pure scoring and three-point shooting, that's what he's going to bring on his 13.4 points a game, 2.4 rebounds and assists, 2.1 threes, and 47% from the field. So Norman Powell's going out there. He's scoring the basketball, decent rebounder as well. And he's another guy that's been a nice reserve for this Clipper team, anywhere from 25, 30 minutes a game. January 14th at the T-Wolves, 24 points, a rebound, 6 threes, 75% from the field. January 16th versus the Thunder, 8 points, an assist, a steal, 2 threes, 20% from the field. And January 21st versus the Nets, 12 points, 5 boards, 2 threes, 57% from the field. So like I said, if you need scoring and three-point shooting, Norman Powell is going to bring that tone. I know he's not that great of a rebounder or an assist type of player, but those other categories, which is always key, you can never have enough three-point shooting, in my opinion, and scoring in fantasy basketball. So this week, I would give him an ad. The next guard, Dennis Smith Jr. of the Brooklyn Nets. Dennis Smith, he's been getting playing time over the last couple weeks here, and he's made the most of it for the most part for this Net team. And rumors as well that this Net team might trade Spencer Dinwiddie and some veterans at the deadline. On the season, 7.4 points a game, 3.3 rebounds, 4.1 assists, 1.1 steals, and 43% from the field. So I know Dennis Smith throughout his career, he was never known as a shooter, but obviously early in his career with the Mavericks, he was a great scorer of the basketball. So the last few games here for him, January 17th at Portland, 2 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 25% from the field. January 19th at the Lakers, 11 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 2 threes, 57% from the field. And January 21st at the Clippers, 13 points, 3 boards, assists, 3, 75% from the field. So he's scoring the basketball pretty well. We know he's been a decent stealer of the basketball and obviously a good passer and assister. So right now, if you need a guard in deeper leagues, Dennis Smith available right now in 87% of fantasy leagues, and he could give you, like I mentioned, those 3 or 4 categories. And the fifth and final guard I looked at off the wire this week here is Luke Kennard of the Memphis Grizzlies. So Kennard, he was mentioned last week on this list, but right now still out there in 71% of fantasy leagues. And he's a 3-ball specialist, and he can do a little bit of everything as well is Kennard. 9.9 points a game, 3.1 rebounds, 2.8 assists, 2.5 threes, and 43% from the field. But the last couple weeks, injuries to John Morant, Desmond Bane, he's getting big minutes here as Kennard and playing great basketball. 13.7 points a game, 3.5 rebounds, 4.2 assists, 3.2 threes a game, and 51% from the field. So like I said, Kennard's a specialist at shooting the three ball, and he's getting a lot of playing time right now for this Grizzly team. January 15th versus the Warriors, 11 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal, 2 threes, 22% from the field. January 18th at the T-Wolves, 18 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, 5 threes, 66% from the field. And January 20th at the Bulls, 14 points, 2 boards, 6 assists, 4 threes, 55% from the field. So right now, like I said, if you need three-point shooting, a player that's playing major minutes, 30, 35 minutes a game. And when Morant out for the season and Desmond Bane out multiple weeks here, he's going to get every opportunity, and he's a good add this week. So that's a few guards I look to add off the wire for Week 14 of the fantasy basketball season.